judgments about other people. All your judgments, you have to have successfully resolved them before you can read the Akashic records. And the Akashic records is written in nature. That's what we call wind talking. We able to read it on one end and respond to what we read, and it takes the message to who it was meant to on the other end, right? But you can't read the Akashic records in your low vibrational state because you can't understand the language. So a lot of people talking about, yeah, I got that off the Akashic records. I be thinking to myself, you're an Akashic record lie ass motherfucker. Mm-hmm. You didn't get that from the Akashic records. You just guessed it. Because everybody, it's not that easy to read. If you can't isolate in a tarot read a name of the person you're talking about, you can't read the Akashic records. It's that simple. Next question.
All right, we're gonna take one more. It's a wrap, man. We got this done. All right, we got okay, give me one. Give me a good one. Give me a good one. Is it still okay? What do you think about mutation? Do that really happen to our people? Like mutation. What do you think about mutation?
Genetic mutations, we going through one now in real time. When we going through the changing of the age and the solar rays change, the UVAs, the UVBs change. And when they change, it causes the DNA to spontaneously change. And these changes happen at regular intervals based on the angle of the lights that's coming in from the stars, based on where we are at the present time in the whole galactic scheme. So the mutations is just upgrades from Mother Nature to get us to another higher level of being. Some people, mutations causes them to digress because they are too deeply wound up in their lower ego. They take on more animalistic, lower evolutionary traits. They're gonna end up being the worker class for the future.
Facts. All right, man. Hey, you gave us some more. Rod Haynes strikes again, baby. You striked again on this. I got about at least 5 or 6 Jews off this tape. So and I'm gonna take them to add it to my game, and I'm gonna be just that much more powerful now. You know,
look here, that's what the whole goal is. Y'all gonna reach something.
I'm definitely gonna get this nigga right here in the middle. That Muhammad. Hey, you know they went over there fucking with them Somalians, and they badly made it out of there. They sent the hardest niggas they had. The Navy SEALs, Delta Force.
That's what the Black Hawk Down was all about. He was the leader.
Huh?
Muhammad Fahd Adi was the leader. They murdered that nigga.
Yeah, that's what I said. They sent them over to the Black Hawk Down. They sent the baddest niggas they had in America, like the Navy SEAL, Delta Force, the Rangers, Airborne Rangers. Them niggas got their ass kicked. They got
but there's a part that most people don't know. Most of the soldiers was about 12, 13 years old.
Damn.
That's who they was fighting. He had a whole army of children he had raised that was street kids. He taught them everything from how to wipe their ass to how to shoot an AK-47.
Wow.
He was a good dude. But they write him up as a tyrant. Yeah. You gotta remember, anybody that's in opposition to the conquest of Rome is a tyrant.
Yeah.
In the eyes of Rome. And if they're a tyrant in the eyes of Rome, they're gonna do everything they can in the media to villainize him and make the people say, give us his blood. We want his head.
Damn, bro. That's crazy. We out, man.
For sure.
Hey, Islam, peace, hotel. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom alaikum. Ashug, divine love throughout the violence universe to all. Right? We love you all. Wadu. Hey, thank you, brother. Wadu.
People disrespect that lineage in my line. I can't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? And for her to really come in and try to deceive, and knowing the fact that she constantly tries to preach that go inside yourself, but while still trying to sell a dream, that shit right there is deceitful. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you don't ever really be trying to sell nobody nothing. You don't even be pushing your 3 King shit that much either. You know what I'm saying? So when you come with your information and when you come with what you're talking about, you come authentic, you come real. You know what I'm saying? All the game you get for free from the heart. She don't be giving game like that, bro. And all the stuff that she really do be doing, she be grabbing shit from the community and trying to regurgitate it like she's the high priest, the high oracle, the one that's really talking shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was, like I said, I was in her her admin group and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I could tell the energy in there was a lot of not thinking for themselves as females. And a lot of females gravitate to that big mama because they need they need somebody to kind of hold them, to coddle them. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what we need as people. I don't care if you of my people or you not. You don't need to be coddled. You need to be able to go inside yourself and grab your power and take back what is yours. You know what I'm saying? As far as your bloodline goes. And you know, I've already been hip on the conjuring, the trying to do a certain spell to get this, selling some snake oil for that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already peeping the game. And see, I didn't really get on her shit before what's it called? Before last year. I just started seeing her shit from somebody else had posted her. I think it was like the aliens are black. Somebody posted her shit. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, she's saying some shit about the industry, but she was in the industry. So even right there, I was like, well, how much is she really saying that's actually truth, actually factual? You know what I'm saying? So, well, you know, bringing it back, you know, to a lot of what you was talking about, you know what I'm saying, talking about the real dragon underneath the Vatican, you know what I'm saying, how, though, the real enemy and all those different things, you know, I try to, like, you know, I be explaining it to my wife, you know, and she's also up on the shit too. And so when we hear what you talk about the truth, it's like we can't do nothing but just spread it. You know what I'm saying? We can't do nothing but try to tell our people, even the people that ain't us, you know, the truth. And so, you know, there's a lot of that goes on, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I had to really step away from all that. And I appreciate, you know, you being 100. I appreciate you, what you're doing. I did have a question, though, about, you know, how do we really know our actual indigenous tribe? How do we find that information but without going through like some DNA ancestry? Is it just through the genealogy records, or
you get signs? Like you just told me you was a Mississippian out the gate.
Yeah.
The Mississippian is one of the oldest tribes, and they connected to every tribe. This is why we can become honorary members of all of the tribes. When this type of work need to be done, all of the tribes put us through the ringer. I haven't been, even though I've been in the criminal underworld, so to speak, for this society. And of all of the despised and rejected, I become the most loved and respected by being a bump straight.
Same.
Right. So when all of the tribes say, okay, what's going on the land, I have to tell them.
Yeah.
Right. And I can't hold back. I can't, like the way we wired, man, we can't go along to get along.
And that's what fucks me up, because I speak my mind so much they try to filter me. Ever since I was born little, you know, I was raised around a lot of white folks, right? So I always knew how to speak. So when they would speak to them, I would still have my tongue from who I am. So I wouldn't bite my tongue. So it would hurt them. It would make them uncomfortable. But the only reason why I was making them uncomfortable is because they weren't aware of the place that I was already sitting in. You see what I'm saying? They didn't understand the power that I was already in. So a lot of times you'll have like the pastors or the whatever of the white community try to come and say, oh, just try to fit in. You know what I'm saying? Chill off on saying nigga too much. Chill off on saying black too much. Chill off on bumping your music too loud and doing whatever, you know, just having your mannerisms as a brother. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
they try to tell you to chill off on that.
In our community, you know, we see the graffiti. We don't know that's tribal communication.
Exactly.
It's tribal communication in their motherfucking face. That's why they made it illegal. They know what it is. and they know we talking on the land, but they don't know what the fuck we saying because they can't read our language, but we can read theirs.
Exactly.
So,
and go ahead. Sorry, brother. Sorry.
So when I go through the community, I can walk through the community and know the entire condition by the graffiti, by the positioning of the neighborhood, the elder women, where they at, how the neighbors respond to them. I know what I can read the community like I'm reading a book.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I get to the point where I can easily see who don't belong, and I can see who do, right? And certain ones, I remember them from past lives. Like one brother came on one of my, I was in a call, a group chat, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, man, I know this motherfucker from somewhere, right? And I'm like, hey man, move over to the camera a little closer, man. I looked at him. I started giving him the rundown of who he was. Everything his pops had told him. He was like, man, my pops told me that. 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 Like, I'm like, I know who the fuck you is. You know what I mean? That's like I look at Dane, I know who the fuck he is. My cousin, who looked like Dane, is the one who flipped me. If you want to be rich, listen to Calloway. Off of a song called I Want to Be Rich by a group called Calloway.
Calloway, I'm gonna write that down.
Now look, when I go back, I'm thinking about what my cousin was saying, and I see this dude, Dane Calloway, and my cousin had a Great Dane named Man. So now Man, his favorite Great Dane is a Calloway in my mind, making the connections. And so when he brought the song in, the group Calloway, and played it, I Want to Be Rich, and he said, I want you to keep listening to this song over and over. And I've been listening to Dane Calloway about 2 years. You know what I mean? So when I told motherfuckers he was one of the chiefs on the land, the motherfucker kept telling me, Dane said he ain't black, he ain't no more. Cause he ain't, motherfucker, he from the land.
Exactly.
He ain't black because he's not a crayon. And he
ain't no more because he ain't from Morocco. Yeah.
Look, now they ain't putting up pictures. He not reading the pictures like I'm reading the picture like a tarot card.
Yes.
Now he don't know what he doing, but he's flipping messages with the pictures he select to give his presentation. In his presentation, he's talking about documents, but I'm reading the pictures that's telling a whole nother story from what the fuck they ain't talking about. You know, so the whole other story told me, hold up, bruh. They was hiding behind them. These the cat's paws. These motherfuckers is the enemies. And if you could take your mind down into the hull of the slave ship, you'll see this shit some bullshit. When I did, okay, so you got this, it's called Soul Retrieval. It's a book called Soul Retrieval. And you could put in your reference list. In doing the soul retrieval, I'm traveling my DNA by calling forth certain energies. I couldn't find a slave ship nowhere. Not even in the people that is tied in my bloodline from that side of the water. Didn't come from slave ships. The ones that we related to, the Zulu and the Hopi, is the same tribe. But when I'm traveling my DNA, the ones I'm seeing coming over here that I'm being shown in mental imagery, they are not coming in bondage, and they're not coming in hostility. Right? And when they getting on this side of the water, we hugging them and kissing them like they long lost relatives. I'm not seeing no slave ships. No slave ships. I can't pull no slave ships up in my DNA. Right? So I don't understand this shit. And then when I go back and I find that in the history books that even they wrote when they asking our ancestors about the ships, they said we didn't see no ships.
Exactly.
So they wrote it.
And
Look, they wrote that their cognitive dissonance was so severe that when the ships came, they couldn't even see them. Bullshit. They knew what a ship was because Khan Mansa Musa came on a boat.
Exactly. From part of Africa, he came through South America and came through up through the where the Mayans used to be and all that area. They actually used to take boats to the Americas way before anybody knew about the conquistadors came over. It was us coming over.
Right.
Yeah,
but
but
keep and so we already knew what boats look like. And they saying we had no knowledge of ships and boats. Now watch this. On the Pacific, it was an emperor from China that we call Quan Jun. Came over 5,000 years ago on a boat, a big ass boat. They sailed right on over here. And when we met them, we hugged them and kissed them like long lost relatives. Why we not doing that to the Spanish conquistadors, the blackamoors that's coming over here? We ain't hugging them motherfuckers. We fighting like a motherfucker. They looking for Cordoba, the famed city of gold. The great, that's the great capital of Atlantis that flew the fuck away that they told us sunk. Right? And I'm seeing this shit in the DNA. This shit like, whoa, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know, so now I got to put it together for y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's powerful stuff. And I know when, like, my mom, she told me a lot of where her people came from through Texas and through, I guess, she says that Blackfoot Indian, but it could also be Blackfeet. So I got to really, you know, figure out which one it is specifically. But on my mom's side, we definitely have the Mexican side that came through the Mayans. And so we connected to the Quetzalcoatl. So that whole with the actual dragon. So when there was the two where the eagle and the dragon were down there, that's when we tried to come up north and separate from the ones that stayed down in the south, which went down into, like, you know, central, like, belief.
Where you see the petroglyph of the eagle fighting the serpent.
Yes.
If you also keep watching the petroglyph, you'll see that the plume serpent is the one they call Quetzalcoatl. He was neither eagle nor serpent. Right? And then they call him the great dragon that consumed them both. He consumed both it's an old story and it's written in the petroglyph and they're hard to read for the ones who not tuned in, but Quetzalcoatl is Thoth.
Yes.
And they tried to replace him with Cortez, the conquistador, conqueror. Right? That's who they tried to give the people the impression was Quetzalcoatl.
Exactly.
Right.
And Paul has taken on different forms. He's been around they say he's been around for like 8,000, but I think he's been around for longer than that because he takes different forms each cycle. And so as we move through the different ages, he has to adjust his etherical form to match the vibrational consciousness of the collective of his people, of the people that he's trying to move through. So, you know, I can't really get behind a lot of these narcissists, you know, a lot of these new age people who be saying, oh, well, I'm the guy, all this do me, blah, 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 blah. Like, I may call myself a god sometimes too, but really you have to understand where the divine Akashic records information comes from and where your information comes from to source. And so a lot of people, they get them confused sometimes because they feel like the Akashic records is what we all kind of like hit on, but if you go beyond that and then you hit the source records, then it's like you get it's kind of different. It's hard for me to explain on you know, so on the live, but
the source records is got all of eternity in it. The Akashic records is the collection of human experiences.
There you go.
And they all are cataloged in the subconscious mind, which is called collective unconscious.
There you go. There you go.
And Akasha is the feminine energy that accesses that part of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they call it Akasha Records, and Akasha is a female.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, when it's time for karma, karma draws the information from Akasha in order to balance out everything according to what is recorded. That's why everything is recorded. And the book of life is the what you call universal consciousness of the great mother Tawaret. Right? And that's why she's sitting in the middle of the zodiac with a meat cleaver, because she'll bust your ass in the head with it if you don't get right.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, man. I thank you and I appreciate you. I just want you to know that I thank and appreciate you, OG. For real.
I appreciate you coming in. Give me a holler. Give people some insight.
I will.
You know.
Let me know. I do software engineering. So I do like the Discord bots. I do all that shit. I'm not no crypto scammer, but